Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Popup Newsroom, live from the Asian College of Journalism and the Newhouse School of Communications at Syracuse University in New York. Popup Newsroom is a cross-border reporting project by student journalists from journalism schools around the world. Today, we're bringing you live reports of diversity from multiple locations in and around Chennai and New York. First up, a story of a career path unlike any other. Here's Ritu Maria Johnny with Maureen Vijay, the first female traffic warden in Chennai who now runs a vegan store in Anna Nagar. Over to you, Ritu.
I have with me here today Ms. Maureen Vijay. She co-founded the People for Animals in Chennai. She stands out as a face of diversity, being the first lady traffic warden in the city who now heads a vegan consumer food brand. So, Ms. Vijay, how empowering was it to take on a male-dominated sphere such as the police force, even though it was a voluntary service?
It was pretty amazing because um, from the animal welfare organization that I had founded in 1995, we worked with a lot of cops on a lot of animal related issues. We were talking about laboratory animal rescue, interstate trafficking of cattle, circus rescues. So working with them is how I, got to know on the logistics of how to do these things. So they were pretty impressed, and when they invited me to join, and be the good face of the traffic police, I was pretty honored actually, to be invited to join to be the first lady traffic warden, basically making history and being part of the milestone of the city. It was a huge honor. It was a wonderful opportunity, and I just couldn't let that miss.
How would you enticingly present this idea of a vegan lifestyle to hardcore meat lovers? Because it's not every day that you see a vegan store, especially in Chennai.
Okay, so the first challenge that I had was to get the texture right, to get it tasty, and to give them a variety of different flavors. So along with that, if we make it a convenience food, which is easy to use and serve, and and if we make it like a multi-purpose product, which they can use in their burgers or their sandwiches or their pastas or their curries and gravies. So if it's going to be heat and serve vegan convenience food, it makes life so much easier for them. So that's how we approached getting it on the table for them.
That's it from my end.
Thank you, Ritu, for that incredible story and perspective of how career paths can also be diverse. If you've just joined us, this is Pop-Up Newsroom live from the Asian College of Journalism in association with the Newhouse School of Communications at Syracuse University in New York, bringing you live reports of diversity from in and around Chennai and New York. Next up, a story that could taste as delightful as it sounds. Here's Himali Singh bringing you a report of the sights and sounds of Besant Nagar food stalls in Chennai. Over to you, Himali.
Thank you, Aditi. I'm right here in the middle of Besan Nagar, which is supposed to be the hub in Chennai for the diversity of food. It is right opposite Elliott's Beach, and here I have with me Mr. Jiaul Haq, who is also the manager of Dhaba Express, which has one of the best Punjabi cuisines here. So, Mr. Jiaul Haq, so where are you from?
I'm from West Bengal.
You're from West Bengal.
West Bengal.
So, what types of food do you serve here?
Normally South Punjabi and Chinese and tandoori type food.
What is the type of crowd that comes to your place? What do they mostly ask for?
Here mostly people come from another restaurant. Actually here Apollo Hospital and a lot of hospital here near beach also.
Oh, yeah.
Maximum people come tourist type people here.
Okay, so what type of foods do they like to eat?
Yeah, Punjabi food. Actually Punjabi food, masala type food here a lot of like.
Yeah. Okay, so what are the other restaurants here? What do they serve?
Tasty Jones and Pizza.
Okay.
Pizza Hut.
You will find more restaurants
More
which
restaurant,
are
non-South
Indian.
South Indian and Tamil type food, oily type food.
Okay.
And a lot of actually restaurant here. But Punjabi type food here only single with Dhaba Express.
Thank you so much. So this was Mr. Jiaul Haq, and here, as you can see, Aditi, there are a lot of places which have vada paos, they have shawarmas, and as it is Saturday and it is weekend, you will see a lot of people as well. So, so sorry for that. And so yeah, this was Besan Nagar with a lot of food. So over to you, Aditi.
Thank you, Himali, for that wonderful and quite sensory experience of the food stalls in Besant Nagar. If you've just joined us, this is Pop-Up Newsroom live from the Asian College of Journalism in association with the Newhouse School of Communications at Syracuse University in New York, bringing you live reports of diversity in and around Chennai and New York State. Next up, a story of diversity in the workplace. Bhuvan Gupta introduces us to W Squared, India's first ever women only co working space. Over to you, Bhuvan.
So I am here at the W Square office in Adyar, and as Aditi you said, it is India's first ever women's only co-working space. And with me is Jinal Patel, who is the co-founder and COO of this unique venture. So Jinal, would you like to tell us how women's only co-working spaces are contributing to diversity in business?
So we strongly believe in creating an ecosystem for her. So that's what W Square is all about. For us, community building is something that we've seen mainly encourages women in business because women entrepreneurs are constantly looking for that support and help to scale up and to also be a little abreast with what the current market trends are. So that's one of the key things W Square focuses at primarily. Through our incubation and the co-working space that we provide, we try to facilitate as many women as possible with the best that we could.
Right. And speaking of representation at the senior leadership levels and also entrepreneurship, how do you think such ventures can help level the playing field and increase the representation of women in these spheres?
So the common question always is, why do you call yourself a women entrepreneur and not just an entrepreneur? Well, the challenges faced by a women entrepreneur are far different from a regular entrepreneur. Just stressing on the fact that many women get to take a break from maternity and have a sabbatical that they need to come back to work from. So the challenges that they face at that phase is far different from what they would face if they were a general entrepreneur. And W Squared looks at facilitating them through our mentorship programs. And we've also realized the potential that many individuals have and have started the incubation program where we're looking at to now have incubation centers all over the country by tying up with international co-working spaces and provide them with the best possible ecosystem and help them scale and empower themselves with each other's support.
We hope such ventures help catalyze the process of increasing more and more diversity in business and bringing diverse voices, not just at the basic executive levels, but also at senior manager and leadership and entrepreneurship levels. Over to you, Aditi.
Thank you, Bhuvan, for that wonderful perspective on women empowerment, women entrepreneurship, and diversity at the workplace. If you've just joined us, this is Pop-Up Newsroom live from the Asian College of Journalism in association with the Newhouse School of Communications at Syracuse University in New York, bringing you live reports of diversity from in and around Chennai and New York. The Asian College of Journalism in itself is a melting pot of cultures from all over the subcontinent. Here's Chitwan Kaur talking to ACJ's international students from Nepal and Bangladesh about what diversity means to them. Over to you, Chitwan.
Hi Aditi, I am here with Nikita from Nepal and Mifat from Bangladesh. So hi Nikita and Mifat. So what do you guys think of diversity?
Okay, diversity as in, okay, I can relate it to Nepal also, from where I have come. There also we see much of diversity. As I stay in Kathmandu, there are people from different reasons coming to Kathmandu. There are different. There is a lot of internal migration, and we see a lot of people coming out of the valley and coming there. So there is also diversity. People speak different languages. They have different culture. There is a different mindset of people.
They have different kind of foods also. But then after coming to ACJ, after coming to South India, especially in the ACJ hostel, I see a lot of diversity. There are people speaking like, before coming to India, it was like just it is India. People speak Hindi language. But then after coming here, I find that every other people are speaking different languages, and I wonder, oh my God, so there are so many languages in India, and that is a great example of diversity for me.
I am totally agree with Nikita. So coming from Dhaka to Chennai, it is a great diversity for me, because there are so much cultural differences and also other kind of differences. So and in ACJ also, people are coming from different states, different backgrounds. So there is a lot of diversity.
All right. So, what do you guys think about cultural appropriation and cultural stereotyping?
Uh, I don't think that cultural, like we have a problem of culture. Definitely, there is stereotyping in every places, but as we are already exposed to this so many things like internet and YouTube's, and like we already know so much about India. Already, we had a, but um, okay, I didn't have such stereotype. But then talking about other people, like I can give an example. Before coming to India, many of my friends and even the distant relatives and distant people, they say that, oh, you're going India, be safe, because it's very risky, it's not a safe place. There are so many rapes taking place, don't go at night, be very safe. Like every, even when I was boarding the plane, at that time also people said that, okay, stay safe, you are in India, okay. But then when I came here, then I find this place very safe, because sometimes we come to the hostel at night at 10, 11. The facilities are good, so I don't think so, I've not faced any kind of like risk till now. That is it.
Cultural stereotype is like, I came here. So before coming here, I know that only India I can speak in Hindi and people will understand my words. But in Chennai, it's totally different. I think that whole India is one part and Chennai is another part. So that makes me that another kind of stereotype that in Chennai, people will not understand Hindi. So it's a kind of little bit different. And also, um, like kind of stereotype I have that about Punjabi people, that they love food. So that is also a kind of stereotype. And Bengalis, they love fish and sweet and all that. So not all the people they love sweets and they love a lot of food, but it's a kind of stereotype for me and for other people as well.
All right. Thank you so much. That's all from my end, Aditi.
Thank you, Chitpan, for introducing us to wonderful perspectives from my own fellow students. If you've just joined us, this is Pop-Up Newsroom live from the Asian College of Journalism in association with the Newhouse School of Communications at Syracuse University in New York, bringing you live reports of diversity from in and around Chennai and New York. And now it's time for stories from across the Pacific. We have Alazia Williams from Syracuse, who will be taking us through the many diverse stories in Syracuse, New York. Over to you, Alazia.
Thank you, Aditi. We have different stories coming from the Newhouse School of Public Communications here in Syracuse, New York. First up, we have Ms. Cameron, and she'll be talking about the different diverse situations going on campus. Syracuse University is still coming to terms with how to move forward and offer from an offensive video from a professional engineering and fraternity that was leaked last spring. The video was put in a private Facebook group and its content was racist, anti-Semitic, homophobic, sexist, and hostile, people with disabilities. Since then, the fraternity brothers have been under judicial review and student organizations have come together to show unity. Our reporter Cameron Torrendo is going to tell us how one student helped start a movement to bring attention to diversity and inclusion on campus. Cameron, over to you.
Hi, Alazia. Thank you. I'm here in Hendricks Chapel on campus. As you can see, all of the pews are empty, but last spring, all of them were full with students protesting the Theta Tau movement. I'm here with one of the organizers, Liam McMonagle, and he's here to tell us a little bit more about what the Recognize Us movement is. Liam?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Recognize Us movement formed in the aftermath of the Theta Tau incident at Syracuse University last year, in which students from a fraternity filmed themselves making harmful comments about all sorts of people of marginalized identities, people of color, people with disabilities, queer people, things like that, especially misogynistic comments about women and anti-Semitic remarks. After the incident, a lot of students, were kind of angry and didn't know what to do with that frustration. And it brought students to mobilize. So because of the unique nature of the video that attacked so many different groups, we all were able to come together. And in that coming together, we were able to push for, beginning reformation processes and meaningful change on campus.
And could you tell me a little bit more about what that change did to focus on diversity here on campus?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of the changes the university started implementing over the summer, they were revamping the first year experience, hiring more counselors and more counselors of diverse identities that could more relate to students. A lot of the problems that the university realized it was failing to face had to do with, although it does tout itself as being a diverse campus, it's more about what that diversity allows the campus to do. So when we continue to push for a growing diversity, it allows the campus community to have more agency to thrive and to be successful. So when we continue to see a growth in diversity, we in turn will continue to see a growth in potential, a growth in academic success, and an overall growth in the strength of the community as a whole.
Thank you for joining us, Liam. That's all we have for you. Thank you. Back to you, Alazia.
Thank you. If you're just joining us, this is the U.S. Newsroom, Popup Newsroom, reporting from the Newhouse School of Public Communications in Syracuse, New York, with correlation with India. Right now, we have reporter Aaron Franklin. He's a graduate student, broadcast and digital journalism program here in Syracuse. He's going to report on diversity from an international student's point of view. Aaron, welcome.
Hi, good morning, Alazia. We are here at Falk College, the welcome space for a lot of international students. We're actually going to talk this morning with Angie. She is studying television, radio, and film here at the Newhouse School. And so this is Angie. So Angie, tell me, as a student in the television, radio, and film world, when you came from Egypt, from Cairo, how did you view diversity here on the campus of Syracuse University?
I think Syracuse University is very diverse. There are more than 4,000 international students in here, and from personal experience, being in classroom or being in activities and whatsoever, it brings me to a lot of cultures and experiences through different people around the world. Mm-hmm. So there is India, every part of Asia, China, Japan, the US, Latin America. There's a huge range of diversity, which is very, very inspiring. Also, there is like the cultural activities that are done in here. It sort of expands the exposure you get. And for me as an Egyptian, it's my third time in the States, but my experience in Syracuse University is very different because of what the campus offers as in terms of diversity. Okay, and so what about your study as a woman entering into an industry that is definitely dominated by males? Yeah. What is your perspective on that? Of course, it's very challenging, but I always try to keep in mind that the skills are what matters most. So I try to focus so hard on what skills do I obtain, and then I go from there, and then I decide to make my films or record something or shoot or make an interview, but then my skills would speak louder than, for example, who I am and who I look like. So this is the kind of mindset I like to bring, but I'm very aware that I'm a woman and I have certain challenges that I need to overcome. And the industry, you're right, the industry is extremely male dominated and you need to kind of fight your way through. So for me, skills matter most, and try to make myself like the best of every single skill I have. So okay, and so how will that translate into the work that you're going to produce? Well, I'm not particularly focused on women-driven stories, but I definitely want to film like short films and documentaries about women. And of course, like me as a director, I'm going to be adding my own input and my own vision in there, which is going to be highlighting like the struggles from wherever. And coming from Egypt, I think we do have the same dialogue. In Egypt, women need to always voice out what they say and what they want, and they need to struggle. And then it comes from the workplace, from their families, from everything. Just to walk on the street in Egypt, sexual harassment is very, very high. So you need to always make a presence and voice out your demands and concerns and just be present the whole time. So.
All right, thank you. All right, Alazia, that's it from Fall College here on Syracuse's campus. Back to you.
Thank you, everyone. If you're just tuning in, this is Pop-Up Newsroom from Syracuse, from ACN College of Journalism in Chennai, India, in association with us here at Newhouse School of Public Communications in Syracuse, New York. Next up, we have AJ Fibry. He is here speaking with an international student on her feelings about diversity on campus. Hi, AJ.
Thank you, Alazia, and to everyone watching in the East Coast in Syracuse, good morning. Everybody watching overseas in India, good evening. And as you said, Alazia, I'm here with Leonza Reyes, who is an international student. She's from the Philippines here at Syracuse University. And before I talk to her, I'm going to give you some numbers according to the website College Factual. And according to that website, Syracuse University is ranked 85th in the country in ethnic diversity. And while that doesn't seem very high, according to the website, with the hundreds of colleges in America, that does rank slightly higher than average in ethnic diversity. 56% of the students here on campus are white students, but almost 80% of the faculty are white. So that is a little bit of a problem. So Leonza here is from the Philippines. We're going to speak with her. Leonza, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
And Leonza, you're from the Philippines. You're actually the president and the founder of the Filipino Student Club. Can you talk to us a little bit what diversity means to you on campus here at Syracuse?
I think diversity, at face value seems to be primarily a race or ethnicity factor, when in reality it's a number of different factors. It could be race, ethnicity, country of origin, it could be gender, age, and even other things such as socioeconomic positions. So I think there's a number of different things that need to be considered when looking at diversity. There's even this whole factor of ableism and people with disabilities being on different colleges' campuses.
And from the numbers that I gave earlier, Syracuse considered higher than average in ethnic diversity. Do you feel that those numbers are accurate? Do you feel comfortable here on campus that diversity is welcomed and explored positively here at Syracuse? Do you feel like that?
I think that, on an average scale, Syracuse University does rank a little higher compared to most nationwide colleges in the nation. But I think part of that is also due to the fact that Syracuse University actually has the financial resources to bring in more students of different backgrounds, which is unfortunate, but it is a reality, just because a majority of students that aren't necessarily from diverse backgrounds can afford to come to a private institution such as Syracuse University. And that is why we are able to come here. I do think, however, the school still needs to do an important job in trying to ensure representation amongst different majors. For one, although this school is about 56% white and the rest is people of color, only about 10 to 12% of people on this campus are international students, which to me seems like such a small number when you consider how big this campus really is. And it feels that at times you don't really know who your peers are, who are from different countries, and who has the same experience as you. So at times that can be alienating, although it seems at face value diversity is valued here at SU.
So sometimes you spoke about being alienated. Do you ever feel isolated because there's a severe lack of international students? Do you feel like sometimes you or maybe other international students feel a little bit isolated here on campus?
Yes, I definitely do feel that. It also depends where you're coming from, because a vast majority of international students here at SU are Chinese international students. and thus they have more of a community that is built into the school already. But other students who might come from different countries, such as India, the Philippines, the Middle Eastern part of the world, they might feel a little more isolated because there are so few of us, and it's difficult to seek out that community because you are also usually kept into the school that you go to. For instance, me being here at the Newhouse School, I'm one of very few international students. One of very few international students that don't belong, that didn't come from China, rather. So to have that kind of feeling and to walk into a classroom and sometimes be the only woman of color and the only international student as well is a really overwhelming feeling and sometimes can feel isolating many times, especially being a communication student.
Alrighty, Leonza, thank you very much for your time. Alazia, back to you.
All right, thanks. If you're just joining us, this is Pop-Up Newsroom from Untitled College of Journalism in Chennai, India, in association with us here at Newhouse School of Public Communications in Syracuse, New York. Next up, we have Miss Stacy Sosowitz. She is on campus and Syracuse University has made many leaps in attempt to religious diversity over the course of the years. One of these attempts has been done with the work of Hillel Center. Stacy, are you here?
Yes, hi, my name is Stacy Soslowitz. Good evening and good morning to my friends here in the States. I'm actually talking about gender diversity within the I School of Information Studies. So this is my friend Zoe, and she's a junior in the School of Information Studies here at Syracuse. So what is your major and what kind of classes do you take at the I School?
So my major is information management and technology with a concentration in web design and digital retail strategy. Since the iSchool is so broad, we're able to pick concentration. So I take classes in web design, graphics for the web, advanced web design, all those kind of stuff.
What's the coolest thing you think you've learned within the I School and all your classes that you've taken?
So far, I think the coolest thing I've learned is probably just how to host a website and build a website. But eventually in the next 2 years, I'll learn something that's probably cooler than that.
What do you think are some of the challenges you face as a woman going into the technology field and kind of starting off your career as an IT specialist?
I think it's a little hard because people see men as more of technology people, but now there's more women in the field and they're learning about everything that's happening. So I think they just have to get used to women being in the field.
What kinds of things does the I School, the School of Information Studies here at Syracuse, what do they kind of do to combat this gender diversity going on within the technology field, and how do they prepare you for these challenges?
They offer a lot of clubs that actually are for women, such as Women in Technology. I'm in that club, and it's very good for networking throughout the technology field for women. And then they also have a lot of classes that you would see that are very male-dominated that women are actually in, such as cybersecurity. They really tell us to take classes like that because you shouldn't be afraid.
What would you say is your dream job?
I would say my dream job is to work in digital media in either as a web designer or UI UX designer.
What is your favorite thing that you have learned in all of your classes that you think will help you most going into the web design field?
I think just knowing how to lay out a website, knowing how it works, the color schemes, having both a designer and then the front end aspect of it will really help me.
Thank you so much for your time. And back to you, Alazia.
Thanks, Stacy. And once again, that was her reporting from the I School talking about the different women and the diversity of women in the technology field. This, if you're just joining us, this is Pop-Up Newsroom from Untitled College of Journalism in Chennai, India, in association with us here at Newhouse School of Public Communications in Syracuse, New York. Next up, now we have Miss Carrie. Syracuse University has made many leaps and attempts at religious diversity over the course of years. One of those attempts has been done with the work of Hillel Center in Syracuse. Hi, Carrie. Carrie, are you there? All right, well, while we're waiting on Carrie, let's go ahead and go on to All right, well, we have some communication problems with Carrie, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show. Thank you so much for joining us here at Newhouse School of Public Communications in New York. Now back to you. Hi, Aditi.
Hi, Alazia.
Hey, sorry about those
was
communication problems.
No, that's fine. That was a great series of stories from your side. And one can say that we all learned some really interesting perspectives on what diversity means to everyone who was a part of the show.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you all for taking the opportunity to do the newsroom with us. And thank you to this ACJ school. Thank you to your School of Communications. It's very much appreciated for taking the time out and joining with us. It was a great experience.
Yes, yep. Thank you all for joining in on this edition of Pop-Up Newsroom with the Asian College of Journalism and the Newhouse School of Communications at Syracuse University. Today we got to learn about multiple stories and about how diversity is such a wonderful, multifaceted thing. This is Aditi Murti signing off. That's all for today.